Hi, I'm back, and so this is my dark caramely blonde 2 days post highlighting her, and you could see that she oxidized and she looks more blonde and less light brown. So after assessing the color, I was about maybe 90% happy with it, but what I was thinking is I want to give it a little bit more dimension, and I haven't done a video on how to do lowlights yet. And so I was thinking that this would be a perfect opportunity of doing both highlights and lowlights on one application. Lowlights is the same thing as doing highlights, but instead of taking lighter pieces, you take you take the darker pieces and you give the hair depth like that. Lowlights are great for blondes who feel like they've gotten too blonde after systematically continually getting lighter and lighter through the highlights. And sometimes lowlights is good because it really just adds some depth. And so what I'm going to do is, okay, I prepared her hair, I sectioned her into 6, and I made the section smaller because I'm not going to do as many highlights. I'm just going to do a little bit in the crown of the head and on the sides. And then for her back, I'm going to do the lowlights, and then I'm going to add a couple lowlights around her bang area. And so what I did is I separated the foils and the papers. The foils are going to be for my highlights because the heat from the foil accelerates like the bleaching process. For the lowlights, I'm going to use the papers, and what that does is it makes sure that the color doesn't seep out and cause those like bleed marks. And so I came up with 2 different formulas for the highlights and for the lowlights. For the highlights, I have my 20 volume peroxide, and I'm going to do a scoop of the quick blue, and I'm going to do a 2-to-1 ratio. For my lowlights, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 10 volume, and I have this level 7 dark blonde, and I also have this like 6G, which is like an ultralight gold brown, and I'm going to mix the 7 dark blonde with the 6 ultralight gold brown together to get that really nice caramel color for the lowlights. So this is really exciting. And let's see. So first thing is first, I'm going to start with the lowlight color, and I'm going to do it on the back, working up to the crown. So this is going to be my color for the low light as previous, and I'm going to take this color cream right here. Let's see. And with color, honestly, less is more. Like, even though you're supposed to saturate it fully, it doesn't mean like glopping like big puddles of bleach or color. You have to do the right amount, and you have to dig with the brush really deeply so you don't get the patchiness and you don't get the bleed marks, because that's the worst thing, is to get those leopard spots. And then I'm going to take my 10 volume peroxide right here, and and I'm using the 10 volume because 10 volume is a deposit only color. You're not lifting. It's for blondes that want to get some lowlights in. And so I'm mixing my 10 volume, mixing my color cream into a really nice creamy consistency. And it looks a little bit yellow because there is a lot of gold in the color. And the reason why I'm doing the gold is because on bleached hair, if you're doing lowlights, traditionally you would use like a coppery filler to avoid the hair from turning green, because sometimes blonde plus brown equals green, and I didn't want that. And because she was a warm tone, and because this is like a gold and a neutral color together, you could see that the color is very yellow and very warm and golden. So we take that extra step away, which is awesome. So I'm going to move my camera, make sure that I position it because I want you guys to see what I'm doing. Just a second. Yeah. Okay, so and you see how blonde she is right here, right? We're still going to keep it this blonde. We're just going to weave in the caramely brown, like the level 6 brown. And let's see. I'm making sure that yes. So this, all of this right here is a section, and then we do the up and down motion like this. We thread it with the comb, and then we go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And so this hair is going to remain blonde, but this, what I'm holding in my hand, that's what's going to get the low light. And I'm taking my paper. And because I'm a lefty, I don't want it to slip, and for those to have the bleed marks, I'm just applying it like this. I'm feathering on the product. And I'm digging in the hair like this. And you see I'm barely using any color cream. And so that's how you do the low light. And what's great is that the papers don't generate any heat, so unlike with the foils. Honestly, I've seen people do lowlights with the foils, and there is a reason to it because it causes heat and it penetrates the hair shaft, but I feel like when you're going darker, especially on bleached hair, there is no need to, and I feel like it's going to make your color last a little longer, which is awesome. And I'm saving the bleach for last because when you mix the bleach, the air causes it to oxidize, so it's not as the bleach is not as powerful a few minutes in. So I think it's just best to get these lowlights out of the way and then just mix a fresh batch of bleach once that's established. And so what I do right now is, let me show you first. Let me make sure that I get the ends nicely saturated. Okay. And so this is my color, which is a hybrid between, let's see. Yes, do you see that? I did a mixture of this level 7 dark blonde with a 6G, an ultra light golden brown, and you could see how her darker blonde is deepening. You see that? So I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna do the whole color like this. I'm just gonna do a few of these papers just to give it some added depth and some drama. And so I layer my paper like this, and we let the comb go, and you see how it's staying nice and secure. This is what you want. And then I'm just going to keep working my way up on this horizontal center back section. And once I do that, I'm going to do these diagonal forward sections for the highlights on the top. Stay tuned, it's going to be great.